Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 91 of the Almost Daily Show with the most handsome hosts of the world, Chandler, and
the second most handsomest person in the entire world, the Dave Picardi.
Yes. Wow, that was an enthusiastic and exciting plus heartfelt intro.
Yeah, I felt it in my heart. Faux show.
Yeah. I'm really pumped with where that went just now.
That's right. So that's it for the show. That was good.
Yeah. I mean, what was that? 20 seconds? Done. Easy day.
That's right. Well, it's been almost an hour trying to get on the show.
That's true. If you guys understood some of the problems that happen when you're trying to run a live show, it's just out of control. So we schedule the show to start on Facebook at 9:30, and then something breaks, so then we have to pump it out to 9:46, and then something else breaks, so then we have to pump it out to 9:56, and then finally we get it started and we run with it. If you're listening to it on the podcast, you won't even understand what's happening. But if you enjoy the live show, then you're probably always wondering why sometimes we have to delay the show.
That's right. So it was quite the delay, but we got it all figured out.
That's true.
Computers are rolling. Things are nice.
Most of the time it works, and then occasionally it just completely falls apart.
That's right.
And so is life.
That's actually a great segue into our show here, how to start with the process.
That's true. So we realized a bunch of people needed help with documenting, building. Everybody needs help with documenting, building, and understanding how to make processes flow, and how to make sure your team is unified around specific processes. Because if everybody's doing their own thing, or if you don't have everything written down and you don't have things organized, then you can't get mad at your team when they don't know what to do and they're running in circles, or they've invented their own processes. And so you really have to learn and understand how to develop these, how to display them to your team, and how to help your team realize, it might be more work up front, but it's going to help the whole thing out in the end. And it's going to help you understand what you're doing, where you're going, and then analyzing everything as you get through it.
Yeah. And when you're looking at your processes overall, ultimately you're trying to take everything that happens in your business from the second it opens, right? Door goes in the key to it closes, your marketing, everything. And over time, unless you buy a franchise, if you buy a franchise, that's why you buy it, is because all processes are done.
Yeah.
But if you are doing it on your own, you're basically building a franchise manual for your business, right? Your operations manual. And basically, you need to fill the thing in over time. So it can start off real loose. You could have processes written on napkins at first, but with the point of having a process is you're following something that's consistent that you can then analyze and come up with improvements to on a consistent basis to see what's working, what's not working. And ultimately, that's people that hire business coaches, mentorship groups. They're doing it, to get help with processes and systems. We're finding that's where people struggle the most when we're working with them. It's, what is your process for this? They're going, we don't have one.
Yeah. It's funny. We say relationship marketing, but really it's building, designing processes and understanding your marketing systems and everything else. We're kind of like a full-blown mentorship. And then what we do, we lead with the relationship marketing, but we essentially build things that people need or help them build and understand what they need to build and give them the flow. But yeah, like Dave's saying, your processes are really organized around everything that happens in your business, every critical task, every non-critical task, everything from cleaning the toilets to operating the computer software. Yeah, gross. Yuck. Hire someone to do that. And what you're essentially doing as you build this stuff out is you're creating that employee manual that you're going to use when you hire people. So, hey, I need to hire someone. Oh, here's the job description of all the processes that thing requires. Okay, let's combine these, put it in, and now we've got what we need for this job. And then, I need to operate this computer software and the employees don't know how to do it. Okay, I'm going to document and screencast everything I do on here, and then I'm going to share that. Now that's going to be part of the employee training manual. And okay, here's the methods we use to teach and employ what we teach at our business, and here's how we do it. Here's the approach. Here's the process for it. Done. Put it in your drives or your folders, and then update it every so often. But I think you have to document and identify every single thing you do. And this can start with you just as you're being highly conscious and aware of what you're doing. If you're in the ownership position of doing everything, being highly conscious of this and writing down every process you do. Every time from the second you walk in that business, you're writing your whole day out. And then once you write that out, you break it down into organized tasks and organized responsibilities. So critical tasks, non-critical tasks, cleaning tasks, coaching tasks, processing tasks, computer software tasks, all those things need to be organized in those processes. And then you have to decide, where do I want to put this stuff? Because you have to put it somewhere. If you write everything down, it's fine, but you also need to store it somewhere electronically so you can find it in the future and you can easily send it to people. And there's a million options for that. You can use Dropbox, and Dropbox has, which is similar to Google Docs, where you can write and everybody can collaborate. You can use Google Drive. You can, if you're working with us, you can use our teamwork platform to store everything in your notebooks, but it needs to be somewhere to where everything can be organized, easily shared, and then edited and adjusted down the road, because your processes aren't stagnant. They're going to be free flowing like a flower.
We should probably sing a song to go along with that.
Yeah. Free flowing.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I think, looking at like your processes overall, with this breakdown, and you just went, step by step and talked about a lot of stuff. It's a pretty daunting task when you look at it. My personal gym's been in business for 13. I think this is our 14th year, and it's been 14 years of developing processes. When you're small, you develop these things around your strengths, around your staff, around your capabilities at the time, which means they can be simple. They don't have to be anything crazy, and you don't have to sit down and write out all your processes all right now. As you do things, you're just documenting, and it can be simple. If the process to open up is turn the lights on, turn the music on, write something on the whiteboard. If that's your process today, there's nothing wrong with that. Just document it, that's what you do. Throw it into the files. Done, right? You at least have a process for it. Then what should be happening anyways, this is proper assessment on all your phases. We'll have that on a different show. We have a whole assessment phase that we can talk about. And you want to make sure that you just consistently, so we do it annually where we go back through all the processes. I'll take out, I actually have it all in a Google Drive. If you want, I could share it now and show, but it's if you're on the podcast. But anyways, we have it in the Google Drive, so everything that happens in our business is on one sheet. Every employee can see the full operations manual and click into anything that they have access to or they need. But that doesn't mean it's done just because it's built once. Right? We do an annual audit. We go through, is there ways to improve it based on what we've learned or the experiences of running the process? And it's an ongoing project. So it takes years to build and have all your systems and processes in place. And then it's never ending. It always gets revisited over time, forever.
Forever. If you guys know where that came from, I'll send you a sticker. Forever. It's classic. Classic. I think our friend Will would know because he's a movie lines master.
He likes movies.
Yeah. But anyway, like Dave's saying, everything needs to be organized and stored somewhere, and your processes need to be built. They need to be organized ongoing. Every time you change something, it needs to be adjusted and modified, or your processes will become non-critical anymore. They won't matter because you haven't updated them or modified them at all. And it can be simple. It can be complicated, but everything needs to be written down. And like Dave, we have everything stored in Google Drive, and it has like the gym name, and then every single process has a folder inside the gym name. And I'm pretty big on, if I have an idea, it goes right into Google Drive and start building processes around what you're doing. And that way I can share it and add collaborators, which is all of my staff members. And once they're excited about it, which they're not going to be excited about it because it seems like more work at first. But if you can display it to them like, hey, this is going to keep us organized. This is going to put us in a position to where we can actually document and make sure we flow things so you guys don't waste time and you guys don't waste effort on doing other things that we're not going to do. And so you know the flow and there's no questions. Obviously, if they have questions, they ask, but it really gives them a guiding hand. And then when you bring on new employees, you have something to show them, like, hey, instead of let me just walk you around the gym and talk to you about everything, or walk you around your business and talk to you about everything, it's, hey, go through this employee manual that I know you're not going to read. And then when we come back in next time, we'll go through it and we'll talk about the things you didn't read. So then we can reinforce the concepts. And so then they can go through that.
Which brings you to an assessment phase and looking at it saying, if they're not reading it, then something needs to change. But that doesn't just, you don't start your business that way. That happens over time. When you start getting into the developing employees, that's when you start looking at that stuff. Are they not, is it, do you want them to read it all, or do you just break it out every week? I know a few years back we started doing where you come to your meeting as a new employee and we talk about a certain concept in that meeting. You then take that and it gets added into your folder.
Oh, I have
right?
a big comment right now. Joe got it right. So there's no more stickers being offered. Oh, Joe's a champion. Anyway, if 2 more people comment and get it, I'll give you a sticker too. We're going to send one to Joe though, a Larry sticker.
Nice. That's awesome.
Got it quick.
That's good. So that's good. The processes, I love processes. I love always going back in and improving them.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference in your business. You can always relook at it and say, I look at it in terms of, from a client side, what's their experience like with our process, our external process to them. And then internally, the process is, like from a core value standpoint for us is we're trying to deliver as a company in the gym the best hour of their day. So as we're doing these processes, do they deliver the best hour of a client's day? In coach development, is it helping deliver our product? Because if it's not, if it's just extra steps for extra steps' sake in a process, we'll actually eliminate it and put more, add to a process that adds client value and client experience.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's also important to make sure that your processes make it convenient and exciting, or at least fun, or less miserable for your staff to go through the processes. If you're getting a lot of complaints from them, it's time to rethink and relook at what you're doing. I think we have to get out of the mindset of just do it because I made it and I told you so, and into the mindset of, let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about why this process isn't making sense. Let's talk about why it's hard for you and why you're struggling with it. And let's see if we can make it better. Let's get the rest of the staff involved and let's constantly update and adjust these things. And that's what your team meetings and your staff meetings are all about. Talk to me about what's going on, guys. Talk to me about what's working well, what's not. What can we fix? What are you hearing from clients? And then we analyze it, we organize it, and we rebuild what we're doing, or we add to what we're doing, or we take things away. And that's that constant evolution process that you need. That's why this has to be written down, and it has to be written down somewhere where it's editable, because if it's in a Google Doc, you can go back in and adjust and modify, and everybody can be in there watching it. If it's written on paper, you just have to cross things out and make a really fun long-term document with all kinds of things crossed out. Yeah.
Old school.
Or so you can use the Rocket Book,
which is so cool. I haven't gotten one yet, but I think I'm gonna.
It's amazing.
So, and the other part with processes, you can have general processes for the business, right? Like cleaning the bathrooms, turning the lights on, right? Opening procedures, closing procedures, all that stuff. When it gets down into employees, like this is where I know our business struggled for a while, is we were trying to make the coaches do way too much work, way outside their scope. And we were trying to make every coach do all the work each. And it was just, constant adjusting processes to try to get them to actually get it done. And then what we found is you need to make sure you put the right people in the right positions and build, if we're trying to deliver a certain thing, some stuff can be automated. Some stuff has to be individualized to the person and make sure that the processes are working for them around their strengths. And so when you're getting into delivery to clients, I think that, you have to look at each individual person and build it to their strengths. And then it works because it's built around them to have fun and do it their way.
For sure. And I think that comes down to hiring as well. If you hire someone and you say you have to do this, this, and this, and then you try to throw on 900 more things, that's a conversation you have to talk to them about because you didn't set those expectations up front. But if you hired someone and said, I need you to do all 900 of these things, and they accept and say yes, then they've committed and set those expectations at the beginning of the process. And I think as especially micro business owners, those expectations aren't set. There's no like, here's the entire list of things you need to do. It's just an ongoing thing that continuously gets added as the business owner learns more and doesn't want to do as much or gets too busy to do these things. And so it needs to be, here's the expectations of what we need right now. Here's the expectations of what we might need in the future. And here's the expectations of where this could grow. Or here's what we need now. It's not going to change. This is your spot. What do you think? And so you just have to think about that when you hire. How do I set these expectations up front for what I need now? And how do I set these expectations and ask them if they're comfortable with what we might need in the future? And if they're not, then you have to make the decision. Do I need this person right now for just these little tasks? And then I'll find someone to do the big stuff later. Or do I keep searching for that magical unicorn, which is hard to find?
You need the unicorns.
Yeah, those are tough.
We made that mistake. We had quite the business, monster business, 15 coaches. And then, we made this big decision that we were trying to move in a certain direction as a company, which you need to be careful of as an owner of a company is, you're trying to figure out how to break to the next level, which is most people listening to this podcast. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to improve their business, add things, bring revenue up, client experience up, and just be overall more successful. So everybody tries to implement certain things and they go into and change their processes. I sat down with my whole team, 15 coaches, and we talked about this process of, we're moving in this direction as a team. This is what we're going to do. Here's what your, responsibilities are going to be in this type of a system. And we had 13 coaches quit.
That's what happens.
Or I fired them. I actually wasn't sure. So it actually became this whole thing where they're going there. One, they don't want to do it. One, I don't like it. Clients, they didn't think the clients needed it. It just became this thing where it wasn't what they were accustomed to, nor was it what they were actually here to do. And then years later, we kind of realized that they were here to be part-time coaches and have fun and be in an awesome community, which is what they were doing. They were doing what they loved to do. And we tried to change the process on them. And they didn't like it, So we learned.
Yeah, that's big. People do not like change and people don't adapt well to change it, especially if they don't understand the change or they don't understand the direction of the change. And that's when you get those frustrated coaches who quit and walk out or are done. I think I've lost like 2 or 3 coaches due to that back in the day when we were changing stuff. And when you look at it, it needs to be approached. You either let those people keep doing what they're doing and you bring new people in for the new roles, or you sit down and talk individually with them and talk to them about what the new role is going to look like. And then you give them the option like, hey, do you want to continue to be a part-time person doing the things you've been doing? Or do you want to move into this new full-time role where you've created? Yes or no. Either way, I'm fine. You're going to be safe and happy here, but this is going to dictate who I hire next or who I don't hire.
Right. Yeah. And I think it's as simple as that. It's never in your business do a full change where you're totally changing everything.
Right.
It's not. I think the best people in our business, and we're seeing a lot of great gyms, a lot of very successful gyms, they add to the tool chest. They add service and experience and staff and all these things. They don't change things on them. Right. They just improve their business. And so they take bits and pieces from all over and improve their business. And that's a positive all the time. Right. So I think that's definitely the approach that people should be taking.
Exactly. So if you're wondering how to get started with this, you should join our VIP workshop on Monday. And we're going to go through the whole thing on how to build effective and kind of show you the flow that we think works really well, and you can share it into our project management platform. If not, your exercises for this are just start documenting everything you do and then start organizing that into the different aspects of what your business is organized into. So if you're a coach in a gym, is it organized into coaching? Is it organized into maintenance? Is it organized into like web services, software, all that stuff? And then once you write and document down everything, which is hard, so you have to make that decision to actually execute on it, then you're good to go. If you are working with us, then we'll harass you until you get it done.
That's it. So, and I'll share, we'll be sharing some stuff. I'll pull up my, our operations manual and show you the outline of the whole thing. And hopefully it helps. And anybody, I get it sectioned off. I can't even remember how many gym owners are in it. So if anybody then wants access, we just open up access to you and let you play around, steal stuff.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yep.
All right, you guys, we're at our 20-minute mark, so we are going to sign off. It's been fun. It's been real.
It's been real fun. I got your joke ahead of time.
You silly sea sucker, you got me. I learned that back in the Navy.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah. Sea sucker life, living the dream.
That's right.
All right, you guys, we will see you next time. It's been fun. And that's all she wrote.
It's been real.
And real fun. All right, guys. I'll give 2 more stickers away if 2 more people can guess it. If you looked on the Facebook and you comment, that's illegal. But if you're listening to the podcast and you can guess where that term I came out with, we'll send 2 more stickers out. Joe already won the Facebook Live sticker because he's a champion.
There he is.
All right. See you guys.
Later.